Hello, everybody. It's the Historical Gamer once again, and today I'm doing a quick news update, I guess. It's been a couple of days since my last video. It's been longer than I would like since my last stream, and that's because I've been having some internet issues, which will hopefully be resolved by the time you are listening to this. But it's been making things difficult to stream and do other things like that. So sorry for the lack in coverage lately, but hopefully that'll be resolved soon. I did want to talk to you about some stuff that is going on right now in the strategy and sort of historical game space. Just to give you guys an update in case there's some things that you haven't been paying close attention to or things that you've not, that you haven't seen. I was originally going to do a series called The Mad Minute, and this was a year or two ago, where I wanted to do like quick 1-minute updates of what was going on in the strategy gaming space. Kind of like a short form content thing to do shorts. Didn't ever end up doing that, but this kind of feels like it could be something like that, although I've already gone over a minute now, so I guess that would fail. But in any event, just wanted to give you guys an update on some stuff going on. First off, tomorrow, May 23rd, WARNO is leaving early access and will be fully released. We haven't played that on the channel yet. I did do some co-op play for a very brief stream with Wolfpack and Tortuga before my internet issues interrupted that. But if you're not familiar with WARNO, it is the newest iteration in the Eugen Systems real-time combat games. Very similar, I would say, to the War Game Airland Battle, War Game European Escalation games, which were excellent. War Game Red Dragon, I felt, took a little bit of a step back, mainly because the horrible way they tried to model naval combat. Then they pivoted over to World War II, which is actually where Eugen kind of cut their teeth. They originally did a game called Ruse way back when, but they went over to Steel Division, which was published by Paradox. Then they went back to publishing things themselves, so Steel Division 2, which was an Eastern European front game in World War II. And now they've gone back to sort of their bread and butter, which are these very fast-paced, real-time, World War III, 1980s style games. When the game entered early access, WARNO had a lot of wrinkles, a fair number of issues, and I haven't really played it a whole lot. I've dabbled in it for a few minutes, like I said, when I tried to play a co-op. I've played a few missions outside of that. I'm thinking maybe we'll do a series on the channel looking at the Army General mode, and which is basically kind of there. You've got a strategic map, and then you fight battles on a tactical level. I'm thinking maybe we'll do that, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not a huge Eugen Systems fan, but it looks intriguing. I think it's worth a look, and so if you guys are interested in that, we may take a look at that. Like I said, it does release out of early access on May 23rd, so tomorrow, if you're interested, there's a link in the description so you can find out more on their Steam page. In addition to WARNO coming out soon, we've got Field of Glory Kingdoms, which will be launching on June 4th. That is a grand strategy-ish game with the ability to play tactical battles through the Field of Glory 2 engine. That is a game being made by Ajod and published by Slytherin. Again, the game comes out on June 4th. I think fully. I don't see anything saying it's early access, so I believe it's a full release by the looks of it. It's not in early access right now, and so this is a game that, if you're thinking of like what is this game, I would say it is similar in some respects to some of the stuff that Paradox has done with Crusader Kings, but not really a role-playing game. It's more like the era and the context of Crusader Kings with more of like a strategic map layer, kind of maybe more similar to Total War. It doesn't have the real-time tactical combat, though. What it does have is it has a plugin, basically, which links to Field of Glory 2, which is a turn-based tactical combat game, so you can import your battles in there if you want, or if you don't want, you can just sort of resolve and simulate your battles in the strategic game and never have to fight the battles tactically. It does some interesting things with these concepts of authority and disorder and dynasties and sort of the rise and fall of kingdoms. There's they try to build this ebb and flow into the game. I haven't played it a lot. mainly because the preview build they gave me access to was pretty limited to just Spain and to the Holy Roman Empire campaigns, whereas I think where this game will shine or fall is based on the grand campaign that covers all of Europe for 200 plus years. So I think that's kind of where my intrigue lies with this game, and I'm sure we'll play it. I don't know if we'll play it before the 4th, but I am sure we will take a look at it at some point. So that's Field of Glory Kingdoms, and it is coming out on June 4th. Then another game which is coming out in June is Ultimate General American Revolution. This game will not be leaving early access. It will still be in early access. And we have covered this game already on the channel. But what's going to be happening is the game is going to be releasing on Steam. So it'll be releasing into early access on Steam in June. We don't have a date yet, but this is a real-time tactical war game which takes place in the American Revolution with a strategic map where everything sort of unfolds in real time, and then when armies collide, you fight battles on a tactical map. It does focus on the American Revolution, and the game currently, based on sort of the private early access that is available if you buy directly through their website, basically covers through the entire war, I believe now, but just from the American point of view. They are working on a British campaign. It is not out yet. I don't believe it'll be out in June, but they are working on that as sort of another major update. This game includes land battles, naval battles, and really is an interesting little game, and I think we'll probably do a new play series for that game at some point soon. I haven't touched it since it was much earlier in early access, so the previous versions we played kind of petered out around 1777. My understanding is they have the full sort of American theater available to the game. They've added elements of native tribes and European armies as well to the game. So I am curious what that looks like at its current state, and I think it makes sense for it to take a look at that. No date in June, it just says June, so it wouldn't shock me if it slips to July or something like that. But that's kind of a big update for them because up to this point, the only way to get access to it is to buy it directly through GameLab's website, the developers of the game. But in June, it'll be on Steam. And then the other thing to kind of call out is Sea Legends, which I don't know if you've ever played naval action. The images and things like that of Sea Legends reminds me of naval action. Sea Legends is not going to sort of be the MMO or sort of multiplayer focus that naval action was, though. This does look like it specifically says it's going to be a single player simulation of pirates, smugglers, traders, naval officers. I'm assuming in the Caribbean because that's usually how these games work. Yep, in the Caribbean. It will have a living and persistent world. It'll have the full comprehensive sailing simulation, which I'm guessing is what I would guess is they basically took a lot of the work they had already done for naval action and decided to plug that into a single player game with a bit more guardrails around it and less sort of focus on, again, that multiplayer aspect because it is a single player game. But I'm not entirely sure. They haven't released a ton of this stuff publicly. It does look like it will be releasing to early access in Q3 of 2024, so not a specific date, just a quarter, and not a lot of other information. It might be available in forums and whatnot, which I haven't really dug into, but looks intriguing nonetheless, and certainly something I'll be keeping my eye on. So those are the 4 updates for you guys today. WARNO releasing out early access on May 23rd, Field of Glory Kingdoms releasing on June 4th, Ultimate General American Revolution entering early access on Steam sometime in June, and Sea Legends going into early access in Q3 of 2024. I'm sure there's other updates I missed. Feel free to shoot those over to me or in the chat and to let me know. But we will be back with your regularly scheduled programming, probably something with WARNO, hopefully tomorrow, as I get these connectivity issues resolved. Other than that, I think, we'll continue our Bombing the Reich campaign periodically. We'll continue our War in the Pacific campaign periodically, and probably mix in some of these other new games as they start to come out. Not sure what else, if anything, I'm going to do. I guess the big thing would be a long playthrough of Ultimate General American Revolution. That'll probably be the next big thing to come out on the channel. Barring any other surprises or new releases being announced. Maybe we'll return to Grand Tactician, the American Civil War, give that another go. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you'd like to see, and thanks for your patience, guys. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.